All right, guys, Statsational here with the proptimizer from the Sharp app for PrizePicks. If you are unfamiliar with the proptimizer, you're unfamiliar with PrizePicks. Most of you, of course, watching this are familiar with PrizePicks, but do you know exactly how to beat PrizePicks? There are links down below to some videos and articles that I have over at the Sharp app and in our YouTube channel that are going to help you, whether you're using our tools, someone else's tools, or you're just trying to go at it on your own. You do need this information. It's going to help you tremendously. I urge you all to watch those videos, read the articles. You'll have a better understanding. You guys play a lot of games. You bet on a lot of things that you don't fully understand, and never a good idea. Fully understand the ins and outs. Even if you don't know how these numbers are calculated, understand what the final numbers are, right? So that we know whether we're playing something that is potentially going to be profitable or not. A lot of you guys are playing PrizePicks in a way that is almost impossible to make money with. All right, so check out those articles down below and then join our Discord as well, because in the Discord, you're going to see, I'm going to talk about Discord in a second. I've got some great information for free in Discord that you guys can take a look at. Of course, we've got a VIP area in Discord for all our pro members on the Sharp app, but there's some great free information within Discord as well, so you guys are going to want to check that out. Let's dive right into it and look at the proptimizer tool over at the Sharp app. This is the web version of the tool, and Ryan Nelson is right now the top play at 55.16. I was just looking at this 10 minutes ago, and Kikuchi was like 55.36% chance of going over the number based on the sportsbook projection. But the reason I urge you guys to get the tool is this changes all day long. This changes because the market changes. This was at 5.5 plus 101. It is now plus 105, meaning the market is starting to move more and more towards the under, which means the projection at the sportsbooks for the strikeouts keeps going lower, which means the probability of the overhitting based on that projection keeps getting lower. So people have asked me, do you wait long in order to make the bets for PrizePicks? And the answer to that is yes. So I want to wait as long as I possibly can on PrizePicks because we're using the market on PrizePicks against PrizePicks. And when I say the market, we're using the sports books against them. So I want to see where's the market coming in, how's the line moving, where's the price moving, and then I can make a play on PrizePicks where I can pick them off later in the day at some good numbers, as opposed to when I'm betting with the sports books, I want to get in early because the sports books and the market may move. If I'm a sharp player, typically the market is going to move in my direction. So if I like on this play here, when we're looking at Kikuchi, if I like this under, right? So the top props model had it at 4.86, which means it likes under 5.5 at whatever the market is here. It's at minus now, let's say you're playing over at FanDuel, minus 136, BetMGM, minus 135. We could look at the top props tool and see what kind of advantage we're getting, what kind of EV we're getting on that play. But if you took this earlier in the day, and let's say this was at, was at minus 128 as opposed to minus 135, and you like that price, you'd want to lock that in early in the day as opposed to PrizePicks when the line moves are actually going to be in our favor. So line moves, if you're a sharp player, tend to go against you when you're a sharp, because the rest of the market's going to start to catch up. Other sharp players are going to start to catch up, and it's going to move against you. You want to get in early. With PrizePicks, I like to get in late because I want the market to dictate where I'm making my bets on PrizePicks. So with Kikuchi here, you see the market is starting to move towards the under. So the over, I'm not even thinking about playing this on PrizePicks. It's not a good enough price for me to play it either at the sports books, but it's a better play at the sports books, in my opinion, to the under 5.5 than this over 5 is. Let's look at the top play that we have right now. Ryan Nelson, total strikeouts over 4. The market is at 4.5 plus 108. So the projection at the sportsbooks is 4.38. 3.85, let's call it top prop projection, which is under this 4. So again, we've got conflicting information here, probably a play that I would want to throw out. Now, if you like this play to the over, understand that the push is in play. And that's where the Discord comes into play, because when you guys get into our free Discord, right? Let me open up Discord, head over to the PrizePicks discussion channel, and then go up here to where the pinned chats or whatever they call the pinned messages are in there. I've got like a little stuff that I wrote here about this, but the key to this all is looking at the charts. So you want to look at these charts. That's going to tell you on a 4 play, on a 4 a prop that's on the integer of 4, exactly what your break-even point is based on our proptimizer. So you can see you need a pretty high number. You got to be around 59% odds of playing these on the 2 through the 4. Power, you need to be all the way up to 60%. But when you get down to the 5 flex and the 6 flex, you could play plays like these at the 5 and the 6 flex, especially the 6 flex at 54.8%. So when we get out of Discord, head back into the proptimizer, we're just over that percentage. So if you like this play on Ryan Nelson, 55.16, go ahead and shoot for it. I don't particularly like this play, but if this is a play that interests you, just know that based on the market right now, yes, it's above the break-even point if you're playing it in a 6 flex. So understand how to play these properly. You're not going to win as often, but you're at an edge on the long term. We're playing this for the long term. We're not playing these for short-term gains. We're playing this long term. I think of this as a business. So this is long term to me. I win, I lose. I lose a lot on a daily basis, but my wins exceed the losses, especially in DFS. I lose a ton of money on a daily night because I play GPPs in DFS, but every time I win 6 figures, which has been happening quite frequently in MLB this year, it more than makes up for it. But you've got to have the mentality, and not everyone does, where you could withstand losses. The same thing is true here of PrizePicks. If you're going to play 6 out of 6, the 6 flexes, then you have to have the mentality where you are willing to lose night in, night out for 30, 40, 50 nights. You're going to be a loser until you hit the 6 out of 6 and then recoup all those losses and hopefully then some. I've got that all down in a link down below where I detail it, and hopefully that video will be helpful to you guys. But we see the Ryan Nelson number here. Let's just take a look at Ryan Nelson in one of our other tools. We've got the proptimizer tool for the top props, and that's comparing the top props AI model to what's going on in the sportsbook market. And there you're going to see what the EV is, and EV is expected value. Now, he's going to be a better play, Ryan Nelson. Let's just look at strikeouts. Ryan Nelson here comes up as the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. He's the 5th best play at 9.3% because we're getting minus 130 over at BetMGM, under 4.5. And if that's the projection we're going to use, 3.85. Well, now that's a pretty good. That's a pretty good EV on the under for Ryan Nelson. So you can see I'd rather play this on the under at the sports books than I would as an over, even though the proptimizer is giving me the best probability of hitting on PrizePicks as that play. Let's get back to the PrizePicks proptimizer, right? So that's the highest probability right now, and may change as we go in, right? It hasn't changed yet. So throughout, you'll see this little refresh arrow here start to wiggle when we get changes in the data, and then you're going to want to refresh. So that's why you're going to want to have this proptimizer tool up on your screen all day long, especially as we get closer to the games starting, because you're going to want to see again where the market has moved throughout the course of the day. Let's look at one where you've got total outs recorded by Suarez over 17, much less chance of a push. So when we look at that, and let's head back to the Discord for a second. When we look at that Discord and the chart, read that as non-integer, because as the numbers get higher, it basically, the probability of a push gets so low that these numbers are going to be, the non-integer line there is going to be the one that actually is going to be at the closest to 17. I didn't want to go out a million non-integer numbers and do this calculation. It does take quite a bit of time. Just know that once you get to a number like 17, you're pretty much really close. I mean, once you get to 7, 8, 9, you're going to be really close to these non-integer numbers. The likelihood of a push diminishes enough to where you're here. So just refer to the non-integer line. So when we talk about Suarez with 17 outs, you're looking at 54.13% chance. That's the probability based on the market. Now, he's got a 17.55% projected total outs recorded based on the market of 17.5 minus 115. The top props AI model likes it even higher than that. So I would bump this up just a little bit. So this becomes a play potentially you could use on a 5 or a 6 flex. I wouldn't mind that. And then Glassdown, when you look at strikeouts, non-integer 7.5, no chance of a push. The market thinks under 7.5 minus 137. That translates to 7.39 on the projections. But the top props likes it much lower than that, 6.913. So this becomes an instance. I like this better on PrizePicks than I do in the sports betting market, right? So let's look at the top props, proptimizer, and Now I forgot who we were looking at. Who were we just looking at? We're looking at Glass now. Okay, so let's look at Glass now on the top props proptimizer and see what kind of EV we're getting there for Glass now. Let it load. And let's just look at strikeouts. Glass now, let's see if it comes up. So, yeah, so the under is giving us 5.22%, which is decent. But I actually like this better. I think you're getting more of an edge taking this on PrizePicks than you are taking it in the market. But that's going to be obviously up to you and what your opinion is on that specific bet. But I like this one better at PrizePicks Glass now under the 7.5 number here because of the fact that now I also have my AI model likes it 6.9, which if we use that to figure out what the odds of hitting are going to be, it's going to be a much higher number. So that's what I'm looking at today. I always try to give you guys not just some plays, but I want to give you guys some information, how I'm looking at things. I think it helps you guys out, and you guys wind up helping me. So leave comments down below on how you're looking at this stuff, how you're using the tool. Maybe something I mentioned that you don't understand, or something that you have taken that I've talked about and you've just elevated it and you're just crushing it right now on PrizePicks or with your props. I didn't mention my props today. My one top prop, I have Seth Lugo as a over 3.5. Now he's coming off of injury, so we'll see how that goes. But my top prop play of the day was Seth Lugo. Doesn't show up in the proptimizer as a great play. And I mentioned to you guys before because the proptimizer is giving us a number based on where the market is, and I'm trying to beat the market. So if I'm trying to beat the market, I think that the market's wrong. Therefore, my number is going to be something you're going to want to play usually just against the sports books. So I do like Seth Lugo. I like the price that we're getting. We're getting plus money. What are we getting on that? I just posted it, and I forgot. Yeah, minus 112 is the juice over at FanDuel. So not plus money, but we're getting minus 112 over at FanDuel on Seth Lugo over 3.5. I've got that projected over 5. Now, because he's coming back from the injury, that 5 may be a little inflated, but I still like that number. All right, let's not make these videos too long. Hopefully you guys learned a little something. Leave me a comment down below and come in the Discord, guys. Ask questions, and you're going to learn quite a bit from our Discord. Good luck today. Let's crush it, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.